Why you must do an online PhD? First of all, it's flexible. It can give you flexibility in doing your other commitments. It's geographically flexible geographically as well, because you can join an online PhD from anywhere in the world. Another reason is global nature. Online PhD will help you enter into a global academia, and overall, to practice your cross-cultural communication, because the environment is international and you can study even at a highly regarded institution. Another reason is related to its increasing credibility. Recent years, in recent years, it's becoming more and more credible to have an online PhD, and especially given that the certificate, in many cases, the certificate of completion doesn't indicate whether your PhD was online or offline. There are many other reasons too, but let's dive deeper into each of these aspects. The first one, as I've mentioned, is its flexibility. It's epistemic cognitive flexibility for you to study at your own pace. But of course, at your own pace doesn't mean you can complete your PhD out of the frame, out of the fixed time. But it's in the sense that you can, for example, work in the morning and complete your studies, maybe a chapter, researching a chapter of a book, etc. Another part of the day that or week that suits best for your schedule. And since the online nature gives you an opportunity of, yeah, having residency in your own country, in your home country, when you maybe don't have the financial or other capacities to leave the country, or maybe other reasons too, either personal or professional reasons. Another highly valuable thing that an online PhD provides you the opportunity is its global nature. If your local universities, while still valuable, don't provide you the international environment, something that is highly necessary, one of the key aspects of global academia, international environment, it is provided in global PhD. So it will give you better perspectives, better horizons, better career prospects in the long run. One of the key aspects is that an online PhD is worth taking, worth doing, is its growing credibility. For example, especially in UK educational system, I've researched a lot this. While I haven't applied any PhD programs yet, but the time that I dedicated to exploring these things over the years, could have been a time of a part-time job. And and it was not just senseless um, exploration. It was intentional. I wanted to study a PhD, but then I decided not to apply yet for various reasons, but still found solid reasons why an online PhD may work. I'll talk about comparing with in-person PhD as well, but before that, it's growing credibility. For example, in your CV or when submitting a document for a job, if it's from a UK institution, many UK institutions, highly regarded ones, can give you an opportunity to study a PhD online via distance learning. And the final certificate won't indicate that your PhD was online. This is not absolute in all cases. You should check individually, but there are many universities that can provide this. And what would you prefer? maybe an in-person program which is not providing you the international environment, the cross-cultural communication and better career prospects as, for example, the University of Birmingham or Manchester, so which one would you choose? I think online was perceived a bit stereotypically, even by myself. A few years ago, I was highly resistant on the idea of an online PhD, for example. But since I've explored by myself and especially explored on a deeper level, given various examples and also people who completed them, it changed my perspective. So another key dimension why an online PhD might be right for you is its independent nature. What is a PhD? Doctoral studies is an independent research. While it is supervised, while you will definitely benefit from in-person meetings and in-person collaborations as well, in its core essence, it is writing the thesis, which is an independent process. So you just need to use your mind to explore the better ways you can and do the research. And I'd like to highlight, anyway, comparing an online PhD with an in-person. Both have their pros and cons, but in terms of advantages, yes, an in-person PhD does have advantages over an online one. If you do not have any, if you can provide the necessary time and commitment for an in-person program, it could be better for you for networking, professional networking, collaborations, better collaboration opportunities, etc. But if any constraints or just for personal preference for a more flexible environment or geographical barriers or maybe even financial barriers, while even some online programs may be a bit cheaper rather than in-person ones, though not always. Anyway, if you have any constraints but still want to get your PhD, it's worth exploring online programs one. Anyway, I find it's very important to highlight one thing. It all depends on the university and the program rather than only solely the mode of study. For example, if your PhD is from a highly regarded UK or European other institution or US institution, it will be more valuable in terms of its academic rigor, your progress, your thesis, your contribution, rather than solely based on the mode of study. While still being realistic, I should also mention that there is always a small or big risk that some employers, if knowing that it was online, may be a bit skeptic, but many are not. Many are quite confident and positive about the online PhD, particularly from regarded institutions. And the first thing you should check is the credibility of the program. Its accreditation. That's very important. Besides just studying your PhD, besides just doing the program, you should also focus on other things. For example, writing papers, writing research papers. You can't just write your thesis, complete it, and have your certificate. While your doctoral thesis will be a huge contribution to society, to a given sphere, you should focus on also opportunities for co-author works, collaborations, international research collaborations, etc. So it's an ongoing contribution. While being a PhD student, your publications will play an essential role and maybe even more important role rather than solely your mode of study. If people see what you have published, research conversations you participated in, intellectual exchanges, global programs, or research presentations you did, they will less focus on the study mode of your PhD and be more focused on the value that you provided. To sum up, if the program you found in an online PhD, you need some more flexible option, and in an in-person program is not convenient for you, and you found a credible option, like an accredited program from a respected university, and you are self-funded or maybe secured a scholarship, that would be wonderful. Go for it and do your PhD. It's flexible. It gives you epistemic flexibility, cognitive flexibility. It will help you create knowledge, evaluate and exchange knowledge, intellectual and idea exchange with your peers, with the world overall, with research communities, and contribute to science, as well as significantly improve your career prospects. And the international environment that it gives you, it's high value. You will enter into the academic sphere where people from various backgrounds, various cross-cultural, economic, even political backgrounds, and epistemic backgrounds will be there, and each account, each contribution, each any type of exchange, either through your research papers, through your discussions or presentations, will be highly valuable, not only for you but also for society. And PhD is a decision, not only for you, it's a decision for science as well. And science resulted online developments. It was science that resulted in creation of AI, in digital communication, and highly respected institutions are not all, but some of them are already, and even for a few years and earlier, have been providing this opportunity. You can do and with more confidence, while also working on papers and international research collaborations. You may share your thoughts in the comments regarding an online PhD, why you should do an online PhD, and you may also subscribe to my channel to follow future academic reflections, frameworks, philosophical explorations, and literary analysis. Thank you for watching.